So today, guys, is called Reflection of My Life. I was born on June the 27th, 1964. Today is my birthday, so I turned 61. So I'm kind of reflecting back to the things that my father instilled in me that I carry to this day. And that is, my father always said, have a sturdy foundation. He gave that to us. That was called work ethics, giving all you got when you work in another person's job, and use common sense and be respectful to others if you want them to respect you. So my stepfather, he would work, we would all work 6 days a week. The seventh day, church day for us, for my stepmother and the kids. That was our giving day. Sunday, we're going to church on Sundays. We're going to finish church, and Sunday, we're going to eat dinner on Sunday. I try to carry that out throughout my life and stuff. Try to stick up to some of those. I'm not as good as I used to be, but I kind of try to stick with it. And he says, work hard. Because if you lose your job, go find another job. If you find another job, work as hard as you can on that job to be as best as you can. But also he instilled this key thing. He says, if you work on a man's job and he paid for 8 hours, but you work and you want to work 4 hours on that job, you have not gave that job or that company a day's work. How do you feel that you're worthy enough to receive a full day of pay? Because you take your happy, you know what, to the office and you tell them, I'm leaving this job because I have not given you 8 hours today. I've only worked 4 hours a day. So you tell them that you're leaving and you walk out that door and you find you a job that you're going to give that employer 8 full hours. That is what an employer pays you to do, and you will do it or just not work at all. Next thing he taught us was you have to make sure you use common sense in life. You can have all the book knowledge in the world, but you will not navigate this world without having common sense. It is hard to navigate a world where you don't have any common sense. Some people just get the good book smart. And I get that. That is so true. But to me, having common sense, I've learned to maneuver through this life to make it up to the age of 61. I've learned those little traits that my stepfather taught me to maneuver in this world. He said, always be respectful to people. Doesn't matter how old you are. And to this day, I still do that. I still say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Even though I may be as old as that person, it's something that was instilled in me as a young man that I carry to this day. It's always yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. I will never change that because it was instilled in me. I've learned that being kind to people goes a long way in life. Being nasty to people shortens the distance there sometimes. And I learned as a young man, I've never, ever in my entire life talked back to my parents. It's just something I've never done. And I don't talk back to anybody's parent to this day. I respect them because I knew what my parents would have done to me if I said something. And I can't remember this. It's in the Bible somewhere where it talks about being respectful to your parents. You live a long life. And thank God I'm blessed to be the age I am. I want to continue to get as old as I possibly can. But I'm going to use the same things that I was taught that got me to where I'm at now to continue throughout my life. Want to, like I say, I'm enjoying my birthday today by doing what I like to do. That is absolutely nothing. I haven't drank anything today. The only thing I drank the strongest thing I had today is coffee. That's the only thing I wanted today. Have me a good cup of coffee, sit still. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, and I had it wrong. I thought it was tomorrow, but hers was yesterday. So I had to correct that. So I kind of got off page there, guys. Let me get back on schedule here. And also, my father always taught that learn how to love people the way you want to be loved. He said, show love, you receive love. He said, not all love is good love, you know what I'm saying? But he said, if you find someone that you love, you build a foundation with that individual. That starts with trust, respect, communications. Those are things he said you have to have in life to have a true relationship. And I was taught this stuff because I seen how my parents were. Regardless of all the little bickering and ups and downs, the highs, the lows, they hung in there together. They didn't give up on one another until he passed away. They were still together, you know. And it was something to look back and look at and say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be done. Follow the foundation that's laid out for you. I remember my father would back before as kids, we hug it out. You might be fussing, but you hug it out. That's still your family. That's your brother. That's your sister. You talk it out. You hug it out. That's how he taught us. And I still have to keep that in my mind to this day. I remember my two youngest daughters, and the middle girl would always pick on her baby sister all the time. And she would just pick. And I'll never forget what she told her. She said, when I get big, I'm gonna beat you up. Well, when she got big, she beat the brakes off my middle sister. That's the baby girl. She did. She beat the brakes off. The things I kind of remember right now. I'm going back and memory lane a little bit. So things I kind of remember, but let me get back on point. I got off point again. But the thing that I wish I could do now is look back at a 20-year-old Ricky right now and kind of give him some advice. The things that I did not do at that age. I wish I had learned, taught myself how to actually save money the right way. I was trying, but you can't save by spending much you get earn your paycheck. You can't spend on your paycheck without trying to save something. I didn't teach myself that, and I wasn't taught that. But I'm not pushing blame on anybody because I was still a responsible adult at the time. But I learned now throughout the years now is if you make 100, you keep 50, you spend 50. That 50 should last you however long it should last you. After that, you have no more money. But now I can look back at that, Rick, and say, hey, these are the mistakes I made at that age. I made a lot of mistakes at that age that now I can look back at and say, can't do that again. Can't ever do that again. You can't go through life trying to cheat life. It's not going to work. You can't cheat life. You can't cheat death. You can't cheat taxes. I can assure you that one because I'm still paying taxes from last year. And the thing that my father said to me, and he was very particular about his son, he said, son, you may cheat everything else in this world, but you're not going to cheat death and you're not going to cheat taxes. Those two things you better remember the rest of your life. So, and that's true because I damn sure have not cheated taxes because I'm still paying taxes. I got still paying taxes from last year and the year before. So those are things I'm reflecting on right now. I'm reflecting on some of the things that he was telling me that made a lot of sense. And also I'm kind of getting off the path. So kind of work with me on these things and kind of just reflecting. That's all I'm doing. But the things that I've learned throughout my life is treat people the way you want to be treated and be kind. You may walk upon, see someone that has nothing, maybe you can help that individual, but you gotta kind of test the water when it comes to that. You gotta know who is who. Some people out there will use you just to get money so they don't want to work. So they'll take your hard-earned money and run to the store and buy alcohol, whatever it may be with it. So I've learned throughout the years who I can trust, who I can't trust. Being able to actually be a parent was new to me. It was a whole new thing to me because I could imagine my children having kids. It was something that was big to me, and it kind of threw a loop in my life for me because I wasn't used to that. But once I seen my children have husbands that are very nice and respectful husbands, I was thankful that they didn't get anybody that was pieces of shit to be their husbands. They got my middle girl daughter, her husband works for the sheriff's department. My oldest daughter, her husband, he's in the military, so she's out with her husband, but she was in the military. And she's working in the nursing field. My middle girl, she's at DSS. My baby girl is who she is. She does her own thing. She's not married. She does her own thing. I don't get involved with what she does, but she's still grown, but I've learned to love my children from a distance. They need me, I got them. They need me, they got me as well. But I'm learning as I get older that the things I used to do, I can't do anymore. But it's no excuse for anyone, any age, not to take care of themselves, not to be in shape. That is a lie if somebody told it to you. You have to be able to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter what age you are in. You have to take care of yourself. No one's going to reach out and take care of you. You got to make the choice to stay in shape. You got to be the one to get up in the morning. I'm trying to readjust myself to get up and put that time in now. I got this morning, I did my walk. This morning I did my 3-mile walk as usual this morning. And it was a great walk, But besides me doing a walk, I have to go ahead and add my weights into it. And get my whole thing back together again. Because I kind of slacked off a little bit. And that's me being honest. I have kind of slacked off a little bit. As I got older, kind of slacked off a little bit. But who am I to blame for what I'm not doing to take care of my body? Because it's up to me to take care of me. It's not up to you to take care of me. So as I'm navigating this world, I've learned a lot about myself and my things I can do to better myself, as in to move forward with life, as to be happy in life, and to be able to also make the person I'm with happy as well, because you can live a miserable life. You can be somebody be just as miserable as hell. And I refuse to live that life like that. But I am well blessed. I am well rounded. I am grounded because of what my father taught me a long, long time ago when I was young. how to carry myself as a man, how to be a respectful person in society. How if you make mistakes, you correct your mistakes. You can do anything you want in this world, he said, but correct your mistakes. You're going to make many, but correct them and be honest with yourself to whatever you're doing in life. Don't be a flim-flam man. I don't know what the hell that word comes from. That's some word my father used. And I would say, what's a flim-flam man? That's a damn scam artist. As he would say, it's a damn scam artist. Don't be a scam artist. Don't go to jail because I'm not getting you out. I didn't when I was young. Did not. I went, when I got older, I did stupid stuff, but that was on me though. But as a young man coming up in my hometown of Lewisburg, North Carolina, was if you got in trouble in town, every police officer in the department knew who my father was. They knew my entire family from A to Z. I remember one time I was cutting up in town when my vehicle just got a car in, and this police officer, I never forget it, Mr. Jack Williams, Lord rest his soul, walked over to me and he said, "You such and such son." I said, "Yes, sir. If you do that dumb stuff again, I will call your parents and have them come and get you." And I told her, I never forget what I told Mr. I said, "I'd rather for you to take me where you're going to take me. Please don't call my parents because I know the outcome and I know what's going to happen." I remember doing, like I said, I'm just looking back. I remember doing stupid stuff in school in the 7th and 8th grade where the principal would bring me home. But I want to say this. It's two people I'm saying this to. You know your names, Chris and Jane. I can say your last name. You two was the biggest guys on that school bus back in the 8th grade. Y'all knew that my little short self got in trouble by some stuff y'all did because the principal was scared of y'all, but he wasn't scared of me because I was short and small. So I got in trouble, so he had to take me home to my parents' house. He drove me all the way home to the front porch. And I never forget this to this day. And that man, my stepfather walked down, talked to the principal, telling what went on. And I want to say he was alive, but I couldn't. Well, let me tell you, my stepfather got loose. This man got foot loose on me on that front porch, right in front of that principal. He wore me out with that belt. I never forget that stuff, man. I have forgave my biological father for this one thing. I may have said this before, but I forgave my biological father. That man slapped me one time so hard. It was at a baseball game, and I was the bat boy, and I forgot to pick the bat up or something. Somebody was coming home or something. And I was really young, probably 5 years old, probably. I can't remember. He slapped me so hard I got the bat in front of all these people. I was so embarrassed that I did a 360, hit the ground. And do you know that I held a grudge for a long time behind that? I held a grudge, but I let it go because who am I to judge my father, my biological father, for what he done? I couldn't judge it at the time. But as I got older, I was like, wow, that shouldn't have happened. But back in that day, a lot of stuff happened when it comes to baseball games. A lot of kids that I know that I grew up with could tell you because I seen their parents go to the mound. I seen their parents go out the shortstop. Seen it. So it was a typical thing back then for the parents to go wet it upside a kid's head and nobody said anything to him. This is the 70s now. You got me just in the 70s. So you got to understand that. But I'm so blessed, and I thank everyone who sent me birthday wishes. I'm forever grateful, and I'm very humble. And I thank you all on this day. Like I said, I want to take a little time today just to reflect on some stuff that I saw growing up, information my stepfather passed along to me that I carry in my heart to this day. And rest in peace, because I'm forever blessed, forever grateful for all the information I received as a young man, not only from my stepfather, but some of the older gentlemen that was around that gave me information how to stay out of trouble, how not to do this, how not to do that. And I'm blessed, and I thank them for telling me that information because I've carried it from the age that I was to this point till I am now 61 years old. Carried all the information that they've given me, to this day, because it kept me out of a lot of things, because what they told me, they had already seen. They had already been through it. So by me using the experience, it helped guide me to where I am now. It kept me alive to now, because I learned some things are not meant for you to stick your nose in. Some things are not meant for you to go stick your hand in and try to separate people from you, because you never know what that other person is thinking. They could harm you because you just stick your nose in. You got to be careful. He said, be wise before you get in other people's business. Mind your own first. Let them take care of their own, unless it gets to a point where, something has to happen. But excuse me that, still be careful, son. Live your life being a man. Live your life as being a father. But live your life on the things that I've taught you here, carry you throughout life. But one thing I'll make sure I leave you with, ever forget this. Common sense always gets you through life. It will be your guiding star to you moving around in life. And like I said earlier, it has helped me through my life. I'm forever grateful and I'm humble. I have gratitude. So, guys, on this day, I'd like to say thank you all for listening to me. Have a good day. The day is Friday. Enjoy your Friday. Do what you do. Thank you all.